Hello and welcome to the Clovis Crit Nationals, the #1 proving ground for middle-aged men with full-time jobs and wives and kids to prove that they are special and that they could have been pro if they really tried. The Clovis Crit Nationals is a practice crit and no results are recorded. So does this mean anything? Quite literally, no. But the bragging rights are high and all the hitters have come. Special note is Mark Top Tube Tucker racing for Velo Kings, presented by ATP Coaching. We've got the Ascend team bringing out a heavy hitting cocktail of Jeremiah Root, Joe Chacon, and their pure sprinter Alex, who is allergic to any elevation. A special appearance by Jean Bagley, a former state champion in the Masters category. But the big news is Team Ride Bike's Bro, formerly known as SP2 Life, has brought their entire squad out. And are they taking it way entirely too seriously? Of course. Will their team win anything else other than this one practice crit? Who knows? But the team is led by the Vegan Cyclist. Let's chime in and hear what the Vegan Cyclist has to say.
Bro.
Wow, always wise words from the Vegan Cyclist. But the race is about to start, so grab some popcorn, sit back, and enjoy the Clovis Crit Nationals, or also known as the most serious and important group ride you have ever seen. Here. So today we're going to break down the last practice crit of the season, and so this is a full when we are taking this very seriously. I've got my whole squad here, minus Greg. We've got a 6-man squad on the Ride Bikes Bro Elite Cycling team. One of the newest bros on that team, Miles Hubbard. I was in a breakaway with him at Winters, 75 miles. He was so strong. We got caught. I blew into pieces, and then he stayed with the group and ended up getting 5th, which was so impressive. We're out here, and dude, look at my local community representing. I mean, I am blown away. I'm so proud to be a part of this community. We had a real low point in our community for cyclists who were competitive, right? And dude, everyone is out. Beautiful day. Everyone's showing it. Everyone's here to fight. And I had actually gotten on the group chat before we came, and I said, hey guys, look, we're going full elitist doucher mode. Okay, I'm bringing my squad. I'm bringing the heat. I want everyone to race us as hard as you possibly can, because that's what we wanted. We need to practice working as a team. And during our team camp, and I'll show all of this in our season 2, making of the team. But during our team camp, Tim from Socal Bike PT, bro, he glued us together and gave us these commands and this communication. Chaz is so on form right now, and he actually has a video already up of this, so you can check out his take on this and what he has, his thoughts on this race. But so Tim is up the road right now. And man, we had practiced lead outs. We really gelled during our team camp, which was Friday and Saturday and Sunday. But this is part of our team camp. This was actually part of our little curriculum. So it worked out so freaking well that not only did we get to do a practice crit as a team, but that my entire local community came out to play ball. Tim kind of swings off. There he is right there. Dude, he got me back on a bike I couldn't ride. Socal Bike PT. Holla. So then I dive in, and bro, look at how strung out this field is. So the plan was that I was going to just empty my soul in the first 10, 15 minutes, but actually right when we started, my GoPro wouldn't turn on. So at the start of the race, I had to take the battery out and put it back in because for some reason GoPros don't work all the time. And so I was kind of off the back and then had to get back into the race. And so Tim was taking up that in the beginning. There he is, Tim. And now we don't have our new kits yet. We're racing in the old last year's SP2 kits, which I still use SP2 Life every day. Even though there was some drama with that whole stuff, with the sponsorship. It's all good. I love the product. Chaz goes. Mark's following him. But, bro, look at our dudes. Like, we got Tim and Nick and Chaz. Nick is our sprinter. He's the one we're kind of really working for. We want to keep him as protected as possible. But, I mean, man, we rode like just one guy that was 5 times as strong. It was one of the most fun races I've ever been a part of. Everyone raced so good, so hard, so clean. So then after Chaz's little attack, I got to go, right? Because this is the very early on in the race, and we're trying to hurt the sprinters. Mark and Jeremiah, Joe Chacon, Alex. I mean, these guys are strong. Sean Bagley. I mean, dude, there's 2 Masters state champions in the field, okay? So, like, it's heavy hitters. I get off the front now with my little, like, slingshot attack. You can see everyone kind of lined up, chasing us down. So the goal right now is to hurt everyone as much as possible and make everyone else chase. And that's what happened. There was a couple of teammates from Ascend that tried bringing us back and then it ended up getting popped off. I got a preem actually right there. Got some split nutrition. Awesome. And so then I was out for a lap. They brought me back. And then I believe Chaz or I think Mark tried to counterattack, which, I barely hang on. And then the Ascend boys, dude, they're starting to get their life back, okay? And that's not good. We got to attack them. We got to keep these guys chasing, right? I mean, that's the idea. So I go all in again because my motor is to just go really hard for a long time. I'm not going to hurt the sprinters by surging because that's their thing. So I can't go hard and then slow and hard and slow and then they'll just be fine with that. I want to just keep it drilled as fast as I can. Also, we want to control the race. I mean, we'd like to get a breakaway, but one of our things before the race we were talking about is we're not putting one guy in a breakaway. We're not going to put 2 guys in a breakaway. We're going to stack this breakaway because we have too much firepower. And this is a practice crit. So, we're going to make sure that we almost are guaranteed the win, which it actually ended up to be the case was not. But so like right here, dude, the teamwork, bro. We've got 3 guys all following like little droplets on a string, right? I mean, everyone was just playing their part. And the communication, and I'm going to talk so much more about this, but Tim from Socal Bike PT gave us some knowledge from the big boys, from the Legion crew, a way to communicate with simple commands, and it has revolutionized the way we're going to race as a team. And man, I can't wait to talk more about that. Here's Tim, he goes, and we actually end up getting a little split here. Now, I moved to the front to push this, but we got 3 in the breakaway.
Nice.
So I really tried to push this gap as much as I could, but Sean and a few others in the back, the group, they worked really hard to pull us back, which was the point, you know what I mean? But so Nick is just doing nothing. Like, don't touch the wind, just ride the wheels. But there are some strong sprinters here. There's some really strong sprinters here, so nothing's guaranteed, right? Chaz is on the front. I go to the front.
I got it, Chaz. Get on the back.
And just trying to communicate with him like, hey, I got this. Don't worry about it. Let me get on the front and keep this pace high. Let me burn all my matches, because really I'm the weakest link on the team. I mean, everyone else is so much stronger than me that I want to save them for the end of the race. You know what I mean? Because I'm not going to be as important at the end of the race as that I can be in the beginning of the race. So then a break establishes, but Miles did not make it. And so here's the back of the pack, and Miles, he's back with those guys. A few games start to get played because it's a split, right? It's not a break, it's a split. But like I showed you before, man, without even really thinking about it, we've got Tim and Chaz up the road marking dudes. Okay, 2 strong guys, Jeremiah and Mark Tucker. I mean, we're always stacking it in our favor. So then that forces Alex, the big hitter sprinter, to have to do some work.
Nice.
So now everyone's together. Miles, McKay, and Sean bridged from the back up to the main move. So we have all of our guys, dude. And as soon as we all come together, Miles sends it, dude. It's just such a huge effort at the perfect time.
Nice.
And now this is where it gets real interesting because we've got a guy up the road. And even though he hit a blazing attack at the perfect time, man, these guys picked up the chase. And no one really knows Miles. He's from North Carolina, so no one here's raced with him, which played into such our favor. Now, they almost brought him back. I mean, this is like a 2-second gap, right? But so what happens is that Jeremiah Root, you can see him on the front. We've got 3 of our guys, 4 if you're including me, all stacked on the front. And it's hard. Does Jeremiah bridge that? Does he close that gap with the whole group, knowing that one of the 4 dudes is going to counterattack him? Because I'm gonna attack. As soon as we get Miles back, I'm going. And as soon as I get brought back, Chaz is going. So we had a lot of cards to play. Now, they decided that they were going to let him dangle out there, which, you don't know Miles, he cannot dangle because he's going to ride away. And that's basically what he did. He got a huge gap. It went from maybe 2 seconds and ballooned out to like 30 seconds because just no one was really wanting to take up the chase. Poor Mark, bro, and Mark's my homie. Dude, he's a gamer. You know what I mean? Some guys, they don't race their bikes. They only put out effort when they have to. Mark is he's down to race all the time. And so he did so much work for such a huge part of the race. But then eventually Joe from Ascend came up. Jeremiah from Ascend came up. Sean Bagley was helping. And Ascend is working for their boy Alex. Sean, though, unfortunately, he is his own sprinter. He does have a teammate, but he was trying to bring it back. So then Mark, he's drilling it. He's in the hurt box. And our boy Chaz just comes up and just is such a dick move to slow down the pace.
Dickhead, you're such a dickhead. And everybody knows it, everyone but you.
Which is so funny, man. Like Mark's just flogging himself, and then Chaz just kind of doesn't burn a match, but just gets in front and like coasts just to slow down, that effort. So the race is almost over. Miles he's drilling it. But the problem is that there's a pretty big headwind on the other side of the course. So keeping up your speed is difficult. And Joe and Mark are so strong. So what we have left is Miles, who's hurting. Okay. Then we've got myself, who's hurting, but I can help. Then Tim, he's pretty fresh. And then we've got Chaz, which is extremely fresh. And then Nick, he hasn't touched the wind at all. We do have Terrence, but he's dead. He died in the beginning of the race. It was very, very fast start to the race. So we've got a good squad. Miles up the road, and then it's going to be me, and then Tim, and then Chaz, and then Nick as the lead out. And that lead out is important because in bike racing, nothing is a sure thing. And we've got some heavy hitters in this field. So, we got to really work hard for this. This isn't going to be easy by any means. So now we flip back to Chaz's camera, and you can see our boy Tim just giving the business to Jeremiah.
Bruh.
Now, Tim is a Socal racer, okay? He's from Socal, and they bump, dude. I mean, the P12s in Socal are very physical. It's a very physical way of racing. Now, I'm going to kind of let the last lap play out here. This is from Chaz's camera. I'm on the front, but you got to remember that Miles is up the road. So I was in a really weird situation, and I didn't really know how to play this because I don't want to go full gas, and we're going into the last lap, right? But I don't want to just go full tilt on the lead out and then catch Miles because we still have that card to play. They're all telling me to gutter them. They wanted me to gutter. They wanted me all the way in the gutter. So then, I'm not going that hard, but that's when the attacks come. And that's why we have fresh guys to be able to respond to this, which was perfect. Now, after the fact, we talked about this, and essentially, I should have gone. We should have just ramped up the lead out like there was no one off the front, right? Because this is what ended up happening is that we allowed for an attack to happen. And now our team had to sort of scramble to get the train back. But Tim really helped keep that together. You've got Tim in front, Chaz, and then Nick. I mean, they were just glued to each other's wheels, which we had practiced a bunch. Now we're going to listen to Chaz giving some of the orders like Tim showed us.
Go!
Now you can watch Chaz's video because he goes more in depth about what these call signs and orders are. Now I am forcing myself to get back up to the group. Now, I should be in front of Tim. That was how we were practicing it, but I just didn't have enough gas because I had to go from all the way to the back. I didn't have enough gas to get in front of Tim, and I didn't want to slow the train down. So what I'm trying to do is be a sweeper. I'm trying to force my way in behind Nick to allow Nick a gap, right? So people are going to have to come around me. And bro, the little junior Matthew held his own. I was so impressed with that kid. So now we flick back to Chaz, and Chaz is the last lead out man to get Nick to the last turn. Myself kind of did some sweeping a little bit, which caused a gap for Alex. Alex was sprinting hard at the end, and that was one of the things. He had to come around me. But bro, the gap, like there's Miles, there's Nick, there's our little junior boy, 2 juniors, and then here comes Alex, just flying. Now, Chaz gave Nick such a good lead out into that last turn, and then Nick finished off because he's a sprinter. Awesome, gets the win. But our other bro, Miles, gets nipped at the line, goes from 2nd to 4th. So close. But check out Matthew.
Big head on the
Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang.
So stoked to see Matthew get 2nd. Anyway, guys, check out Chaz's video. As always, Vegan Cyclist. Yeah.
That's how it's done.
That's how it's done.